Hello and welcome to Unity of Fredericksburg. My name is Chris, and I'm pleased to welcome all of you to the Unity of Fredericksburg weekly online gathering. At Unity of Fredericksburg, we're advancing the movement of spiritual awakening and transformation through unity, a positive path for spiritual living. We thank those of you watching on YouTube, live or later, and we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you are able to attend live, we encourage you to join us in the Zoom community room for the full Sunday morning experience. It includes music, prayer, and connection. Our weekly newsletter includes the Sunday service link, and you can subscribe to receive that on our website at uofva.org. For everyone local to Central Virginia, Unity of Fredericksburg offers a variety of fun and enriching in-person gatherings every month. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter at uofva.org for all the details. Our message today comes from our minister, Reverend Cheryl Fair. And now, here's Reverend Cheryl.
Thanks, Chris, and welcome everyone. So glad to see everyone who is with us in the Zoom room right now. And for those of you watching on YouTube, we appreciate your kind attention and we appreciate the energy that you provide to our community, Unity of Fredericksburg. So our broadcast date today is Sunday, December 24th. This past week, we passed through the winter solstice and we are now turned to face the sun as the days are getting longer. It's the fourth Sunday of Advent today. Today is Christmas Eve and Kwanzaa begins the day after Christmas, which is also known as Boxing Day in many cultures. And did you know that the 12 days of Christmas starts on the 26th? And goes all the way through Epiphany. So many things for us to be talking about today. I've had to make some choices of what we're going to talk about. If one thing to know for sure, no matter what you believe or how you celebrate, there's something for everyone this time of year. So for those of you who celebrate Christmas, I invite you to join us this afternoon at 4 p.m. on Zoom, 4 p.m. Eastern. It will be all about Christmas, all about Christmas Eve this afternoon. This morning, like I said, I've had to make some choices here. So we're going to talk about the theme for the fourth Sunday of Advent. That is a theme that ties together all of the faith traditions and spiritual paths this time of year. That theme is joy. And we'll focus on one of the Unity of Fredericksburg themes that we've been working for 2023, and that is interfaith, as we explore the themes of Kwanzaa. So those are our two topics for this morning, joy and Kwanzaa. So here we go. So today is the fourth Sunday of Advent. Now, we've been talking about Advent for some weeks, right? This is the fourth Sunday of Advent. Even this week, I had somebody say, "What is Advent?" So I like to talk about what is Advent at the beginning because not everyone knows. Not everyone grew up in a circumstance where they were honoring Advent. So in popular culture, Advent is a countdown to Christmas. There are all kinds of fun Advent calendars. You start at the beginning of December and kind of count your way down to Christmas Eve. I have a wonderful one this year that I've been working that my best friend gave to me, and it's little jars of jam for every day of Advent. So I used the last one today because it's Christmas Eve, and it's been wonderful. Now, we also know that in Christian circles, Advent is the period building up to the celebration of the birth of Jesus. Now, in Unity, the season of Advent reminds us that even when we forget, our awareness of our Christ consciousness within can be rekindled, revived, reactivated, reborn, just like the baby child in the Christmas story. So there's a theme for every Sunday in Advent. And for the fourth Sunday of Advent, our theme is joy. Now, on the surface, joy might feel a little hard to approach during the holiday season. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of times, the holiday season is difficult for a lot of folks, right? There are folks who experience seasonal depression disorder. There are people who experience kind of waves of grief coming up in the holiday season. And it's really important in our spiritual practice that we recognize this and not just trying to brush it aside or paste a happy smile on and pretend like we're not feeling a little bit down. It's important for us to recognize that in ourselves and in others and be present and hold space for all the feelings that come up this time of year. So, how does joy fit in with this? Well, on the surface, we can equate joy with emotions like happiness or delight or glee. But there's something more to joy because those kinds of emotions kind of come and go and that kind of thing. But there is something more abiding, something deeper, something sustaining that allows joy to sit with us even in our darkest days. You may have noticed that even in the midst of crisis, say a natural disaster of something, that when we recognize spirit expressing through those who step forward and provide aid and rescue, you see people coming together who on a normal day might feel like they're on different teams. I'm on the red team, you're on the blue team. I don't talk to you about things, but when it comes down to something monumental happening, all of that clears out of the way, and you see people acting from the essence of the spirit that they are underneath all of that. And there's a sense of joy present, even when, in extreme conditions like that. Joy shows up in the midst of grief, in the midst of losing a loved one, as on a spirit level, we recognize the value of a life well lived. We recognize the natural cycles of life and death. And we can experience joy even while, on an emotional level, experiencing loss in our human life. And that's how joy kind of rides up beyond emotions of happiness or whatnot. Joy shows up in little moments, little quiet moments of appreciating beauty. Many of us will really put a lot of effort into decorating this time of year, hanging lights, and just spending time appreciating that gives us little moments of joy, reminding us that spirit is present and expressing in all circumstances. I'll tell you a secret about me is that I feel like I can hear the sound of joy. I'm a very auditory person. I hear joy like a chorus of angels, like angels singing the song of our souls. And I'll tell you the first time I experienced that was years ago. My mother had had some surgery, and I was sitting at her bedside in the hospital with my eyes closed and probably trying to be in prayer or whatever it is that I was trying to do. She was asleep. I had my eyes closed, and I felt like I heard the sound of 1,000 voices singing, like a circle of angels in a sacred dance around a bonfire. That's what I was imagining. I heard this sound, and it was like a chorus of angels singing the soul song for my mother and celebrating all that she was, all that she had done, all that she would yet do. And so that's always kind of stuck with me. I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced that, but to me, that is again, an expression of that level of joy that's present even in stressful circumstances, that rides through with us, even when we're having all kinds of stress and difficulty. And it's present through anguish, worry, despair. There is joy. I saw a funny meme this week online on social media, going around, that was about joy. It said, "Misery might love company, but so does joy, and joy throws better parties." So I find this dynamic of joy and this theme for the fourth Sunday of Advent to be really powerful. Really powerful. And you might sense that I have an interest and in us recognizing the darker moments along with the light and being present with both. So one of my favorite holiday songs is "In the Bleak Midwinter." And you might say, what? How can that be one of your favorite songs? Well, let me tell you why. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's a lovely song that shares with us kind of the cold and dark of winter, the hardness, the discomfort. And then it moves into kind of a dream, a song that's dreaming of the angels, the Mother Mary, the baby in the manger. And then it goes on to wonder kind of from a human place. Well, what would I give if I were there? I have nothing. What would I give? And then it comes around to a sense of abiding truth and a sense of joy when the lyrics say, "What I would give is I would give my heart." And that's something that we all can give and that we all can receive all through this wondrous holiday season, with so many different things for us to celebrate, so many different ways that we can move forward through this season. Out of the depths of the bleak midwinter, we can experience joy. So hold on to this topic of joy as we shift gears here, and we're going to talk a little bit about Kwanzaa. And there is definitely a thread of joy present in Kwanzaa in abundance. So I will say that I approach the subject of Kwanzaa with a humble admiration. I'm a white woman. I'm not qualified to speak with any authority about Kwanzaa, but I've done my homework. I want to share with you and help you to appreciate the beauty of Kwanzaa. The primary source that I've used, in case you want to follow up on it, is a website called officialkwanzaawebsite.org. So Kwanzaa is an annual week-long cultural celebration that honors African American and Pan-African, so African themes throughout the globe of history and culture. Now, it's not a religious celebration, but there are plenty of spiritual themes for us to appreciate. So let me tell you about those. The colors of Kwanzaa are black, red, and green. So you'll see that they use a set of candles similar to what is used for Hanukkah. The candle holder is called a kinara. And so the candles will be, the one in the center is black, and that black represents the people of African descent. And then there are 3 red candles that represents the struggle that the people of African descent have experienced historically. And then there are 3 green candles, and the green candles represent the future and the hope of the people. So what I see when I talk about joy, and joy being able to travel with us through the dark times and into the light, is we see that in Kwanzaa as well, because in Kwanzaa there's a definite recognition of the struggle that has taken place over generations. And there's a celebration of the people and singing the songs of their souls and the people rising out of the struggle and into joy and community. So as we explore more about Kwanzaa, I invite you to listen from your spirit mind rather than your intellect. Listen from your heart mind. Listen from your intuition and hear how this celebration of Kwanzaa speaks to lots of eternal truths. So we talked about the 7 candles that are in the Kinara, and those 7 candles represent 7 principles. So we'll talk our way through what those 7 principles are. And in Unity, we love principles, don't we? We love them. In fact, Unity founder Myrtle Fillmore, her favorite name for God was principle. And not principle like a cold, inaccessible concept or something, but principle like the energy of joy and love that moves through every aspect of our lives and of our being. So with Kwanzaa, the first candle in the Kinara that you light on the first night of Kwanzaa or day of Kwanzaa, I'm not sure what time of day they do it, is the black candle in the middle. And the black candle represents the people and the principle of umoja, which means unity. So it stands for unity of spirit and humanity, unity of the family, unity of community. So just feel the essence of that principle right now and feel the power of joy present there. Breathe into that principle of unity right now. So even if you don't practice Kwanzaa, we'll just kind of practice giving it our attention and our energy today. The second principle of Kwanzaa is, and I've done my homework, I've got it written out here phonetically because this one is hard to pronounce and it has lots of letters. So it's Kujichagulia. Kujichagulia. And what it means is self-determination. So think of the history of people of African descent. This principle of self-determination celebrates the self-determination of the people to define themselves, name themselves, create for themselves, and speak for themselves. So just feel the energy and joy moving through that theme and breathe into this principle of self-determination for the people. Just breathe into that right here and right now. Thank you. All right. The third principle of Kwanzaa is pronounced Ujima, and it represents collective work and responsibility. So coming together, working together, and having that sense of accountability personally and in community. So this is all about building and maintaining community together, making our brothers and sisters issues our issues and solving them together. So just feel the joy and energy of that, of coming together in community in that way, and breathe into that principle of collective work and responsibility. We appreciate that and give it our energy. The fourth principle of Kwanzaa is called Ujama. Ujama. And it means cooperative economics. Interesting, cooperative economics. So in Unity speak, I would say, this is a principle around prosperity, right? Cooperative prosperity. In Unity, prosperity, we recognize that as the flow of good in our lives. So this is cooperative, so cooperating with others. So this is, again, about building and maintaining community and the flow of prosperity in community, and that everyone in the community benefits rather than individuals benefiting. So there's a lot of power and joy in this principle. Just take a breath right here, appreciate that, see that expressing in the lives of all people, and especially those of African descent. This principle of cooperative economics. The fifth principle of Kwanzaa is Nia, and this means purpose. So this principle honors the collective purpose of building and developing community in order to restore the people to their true expression of goodness. So we can all be in that space of appreciating the joy of feeling a sense of purpose and having a sense of purpose in community. So just take a breath with this principle of purpose right here, right now. All right. The sixth principle of Kwanzaa is Koumba. Koumba. And that means creativity. So what this principle says is that the people will always do as much as they can in the way that they can to create beauty and to create benefits for the community as a whole. So just imagine that, how that expresses in your life, and hold that for all people who celebrate this process of Kwanzaa. So just breathe into that principle of creativity right here, right now. All right, we've got one more. One more principle of Kwanzaa. The last one is Imani. Imani. And that stands for faith. All right, faith in the people, faith in the wisdom of the ancestors, faith in the teachers, faith in the leaders, faith in the spirit of overcoming and thriving. This is something we can all appreciate. So whether you celebrate Kwanzaa or not, let's take a deep breath right now around that definition of faith. Thank you so much for participating in that practice. As I said, whether Kwanzaa is something that you celebrate or not, it's really great to learn more about that and to understand the principles at work as we mark the fourth Sunday of Advent, and we look forward to those 7 nights of Kwanzaa. We lean into this energy of joy, joy that is always present and expressing, like the songs of angels, or from the Christmas story in the Bible, the heavenly host that came and sang to the shepherds to let them to sing the joy of the birth of the baby Jesus. And we see joy going outward from that point. So one of my favorite parts of the Christmas story that doesn't get a whole lot of attention, but I find it really moving, is when the angel comes to the shepherds, and then they say, and gives the shepherds the news of, you will find a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, and then the heavenly hosts sing, and the shepherds are so inspired that they take it as their mission to go out and spread the word. And that, to me, is one of the most powerful parts of that biblical story, is the joy of that, the joy that you can imagine being felt and in the hearts. And in those days there wasn't the internet or anything like that, so you couldn't call or text a friend saying, hey, check out what's happening in Bethlehem. The shepherds took it as their role to go, and well, first they went like, oh, is this true? They found the baby and the Holy Family in the manger, and then they went to spread the word. And there's that energy of joy. So think of what you can do in your life and in the lives of others to be that essence of joy, spread that energy of joy. Recognize joy singing us through even the tough times, always present in the wonderful times. Joy is the essence of all that is, or that which we call God. And let us be expressions of that joy. Let us be joyful. So, we're going to move into a time of meditation now. As we prepare for that, I'm going to do a little reading from the Advent booklet that was available from Unity this year called The Sweetest Christmas. And this is in the entry for today, for Christmas Eve. So take a few deep breaths, my friends. And let's just settle even further into the joy of this moment, right here, right now. The joy that is quiet, the joy that fills our hearts with love and our eyes with tears, is the joy that brings us home to ourselves. That joy is ours when we touch the peace and perfection of the divine and know deep in our hearts that God is not separate from us and never was. At the end of our Advent journey, we finally arrive through faith, peace, love, and joy at the home we can never leave. We realize at the deepest level that we are in God, fully human and fully divine, and the Christ is born anew. So let's take this into the stillness with us right now, reflecting on joy. In the stillness, do you hear the song of the angels? Do you hear the angels singing the song of your soul? As we return to this moment here and now, I invite you to feel the energy of joy moving through you, connecting you with all that is. Feel that joyful connection of community as we celebrate Christmas Eve and as we head into Christmas itself. So we're going to finish our time together with an affirmation. Here's our affirmation. It's really short and really easy today. I am joyful. I am grateful. Say it with me, friends, from where you are. I am joyful. I am grateful. One more time. Really let it fly this time. I am joyful. I am grateful. So it is. Thanks so much for being here, whether you're watching now or you're watching later. We appreciate you. And now I'm going to hand it back to my friend, Chris.
Ah, what a wonderful message. And thank you for watching our weekly broadcast from Unity of Fredericksburg. Visit our website, uofva.org, to learn more about our mission of spiritual awakening and transformation. Also, support our ministry with your financial donation. Thanks again for watching and